What's up? This is Tom Froming from twinsdaily.com. The guy in the all white uniform on the mound tonight, that was a different. I've never seen the Twins wear those. That wasn't the Twins, right? That was a different team, different guy. Oh man. Uh that's a gut punch. Not just to lose to Detroit at home, but with Berrios on the mound and to have it go the way it went. That is a gut punch. It's a good thing they play one of these things basically every day. I'm not a big like must win guy, especially it's a 162 game season. It's really hard to say any games are must win games, but the Twins really need to take these next two games against Detroit. But this is a pitching centric breakdown we're about to do here, so let's get right into that. Again, Jose Berrios had a very ugly start against just a terrible team. I mean, no disrespect to the Tigers. I mean, they're bad. They know they're bad. And I know they took a game from Houston, but this is not a good team. Berrios' game score was 34, just awful. And one of the weird things that might stick out that you see that's actually good was his strike percentage was 71%. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We're going to jump into some other stuff, so keep note of that. There's actually a reason why that's so high, and he pitched so poorly. 10 hits in 5 1/3 innings for Jose Berrios. And a big thing, and I think it's second guessing, that a lot of people were saying that Berrios should have been pulled before he gave up a grand slam in the sixth inning. I'm going to roll to some really quick video of that sixth inning and how everything came down. The quality's not as good as I would have liked. Sorry, but if you missed the game, or even if you don't remember everything that happened leading up to the grand slam, this will give you a good review. So let's cut to that.
Strikes for Berrios. On the ground, another leadoff hit for the Tigers. Out of the reach of Pollock. Slap to right field. And it'll go to the corner past Gonzalez. Castro check swing. Took a fastball off the plate. And he spot. Hammered to left. Deep down the line. A grand slam for Ronnie Rodriguez. And the Tigers take the lead.
All right, so, not great. Two infield singles, basically, and then Marwin played that into a double. Maybe Kepler catches that. I'd say probably Kepler catches that, but whatever. It's still a lot of balls in play. Anything can happen in that case. You can't give a guy a total free pass, and then with first base open, he ends up walking a guy. One of the common themes that was concerning throughout really this whole performance, but that inning as well, was Berrios not finishing guys off with two strikes. So I can definitely hear the argument that at that point, if you're saying they should have pulled him and brought in Duffy there, I'm not saying there's no argument to take him out, but it was 3-1. This is the guy who's supposed to be your ace pitcher. This is against Detroit. You kind of have to trust him to work his way out of that situation. And I don't think you throw Rocco under the bus for leaving him out there when Berrios left a cookie right over the heart of the plate on the grand slam. I mean, the players have to play, guys have to execute. I didn't really think of taking him out there personally, but obviously it did not work out well. Now, from there on, Detroit held the lead throughout the whole rest of the game. I don't know how, we're not going to get too deep into the bullpen here. Tyler Duffy came in and did a pretty good job, but he got into trouble in his second inning of work. And the one thing I do want to talk about in terms of the bullpen usage is that Trevor May came in to finish off Duffy's second inning, and he only faced one batter. He threw 4 pitches. Now, that was ended up being the highest leverage situation of the game that Rocco put a reliever into. But we're going to talk about the bullpen usage as well and why I think that taking him out after just 4 pitches, in this case in particular, was a poor choice. Things didn't get any better from there as Sergio Romo gave up 2 runs. Ryan Harper gave up 2 runs. not a good performance by the entire pitching staff, really. Let's roll over to the bullpen usage report. Again, this is something you can access the link to. Every single Twins Daily game recap has the link to this in it. Now, why do I talk about May and say that was a bad idea? If you look here, one of the things, there's sort of raw pitch count and then high pitch count games, but then there's also just days pitched that I look at when I'm trying to figure out who's going to be available, who's not going to be available. And to me, you're not going to pitch a guy 4 times in a 5-day stretch. And that means Tyler Duffy's not going to be available tomorrow. And that means, to me, Trevor May's not going to be available tomorrow. Now, maybe he's sort of available since he did only throw 4 pitches, but he worked on Tuesday, he worked on Wednesday, he worked on Friday. Are you really going to throw him out there again on Saturday? It's just a lot of work for a guy. So, and then, Lewis Thorpe's going to be able to provide length if needed. He hasn't pitched in a while. Taylor Rogers hasn't pitched in a while. So that's a situation where, with an off day coming on Monday as well, even if, let's say, the Twins are trailing by a run or 2 tomorrow, I would probably use Rogers to keep it that way, and maybe even early in a game. Because like I said, I think these next 2 games are pretty big in terms of being as close to sort of must-wins as you get in the regular season. Let's talk about, I want to hit on one more thing with Berrios and then show you some August numbers that will be very depressing. But let's go to Baseball Savant and go down to Jose Berrios. One of the things that was really striking to me, and it's not like he didn't get swinging strikes. He did get 9 out of 93 pitches. That's about average for him. It's not great, but it's not bad. The thing is, he gave up 23 foul balls and 19 balls in play. So I think that this called strike number is extremely low for him, and this foul ball number is way high. And something that happens when you have a lot of foul balls, and I think Jose also didn't help himself in this manner just in general, was the pace was awful, especially in the 6th inning where Detroit scored all those runs. It was just a slog. The pace of play in that inning was awful. And, from a fan's perspective, that's just not fun to watch. But I think from an overall perspective, I got to believe it's hard to keep in a rhythm. And when you have that many foul balls, there's a little bit more time in between. Everybody's kind of resetting. The umpire's got to throw the ball out to the pitcher. The batter's got to adjust his batting gloves 15 times because he made contact with the ball, whatever. I am a pitch clock guy, but there's always going to be a little bit more of a gap between foul balls than called strikes, swinging strikes, whatever. And I think that pace probably didn't help at all either. But one last thing on Berrios is during the broadcast, Roy Somali was talking about how he's not rotating enough. What am I looking for here? I believe this is it. And some of what happened to me lines up with that idea. So it seems like the Twins are working with him on some stuff that should help. So basically, I would think from that is he's leaving stuff a little bit more arm side to him to the right if we're watching him on TV. And that definitely holds true to that grand slam he gave up. You can look at these are all of the results that he gave up. What's the worst pitch on this one? It's the grand slam. So pretty much the worst situation he could have had to throw his worst pitch, just leaving that curveball over the zone. That's exactly when it came. And, Ronnie Rodriguez destroyed it. He did not miss that pitch. So that's it for me for now. It's going to be Gibson versus Edwin Jackson is still pitching. He'll be starting for the Tigers. I laugh now. I may be crying tomorrow about it if they lose. But hopefully they bounce back. Again, this is just a really specific pitching breakdown. If you want a full recap, go to Twins Daily and go ahead and read the full recap from Thieras. He's got a lot of good stuff in there. So thanks for watching. Have a beer? I don't know. What a rough game. We'll just have to hope Gibby turns it around tomorrow. Oh, you know what? Actually, we had one more thing before I let you go. I wanted to show you the August stats if you're not depressed enough. So that's Jose Berrios so far this month, 8.44 ERA. And there's not a whole lot of other guys that look real great. So I'll leave that up for a minute. My notes can go. Take a look at those. Where are you at right now? You all right? The key thing to remember is they're still in first place. There's still time to correct some of these things and address stuff. So that's a blessing in disguise. Cleveland did win today, so a little bit more pressure. You know, at the end of the day, you have to take care of your stuff. Being too wrapped up into what Cleveland's up to is kind of not even worth getting into, because the Twins, if they're getting beat by the White Sox and the Tigers, forget about scoreboard watching, pretty much. So that's it for me. We'll talk again soon. Thanks for watching.